Anthony de Mello was a Jesuit priest, psychotherapist, and spiritual teacher whose innovative approach to spirituality continues to resonate with seekers of truth, wisdom, and self-awareness. Born in Bombay, India, on September 4, 1931, de Mello's life unfolded at the crossroads of Eastern and Western religious thought, affording him a unique vantage point from which to explore the deeper questions of existence. He passed away suddenly in New York City on June 2, 1987, leaving behind a remarkable legacy through his extensive writings, retreats, lectures, and workshops. Though firmly rooted in Catholicism, de Mello integrated insights from Eastern mysticism, psychology, and contemporary spirituality, creating a distinctive and powerful synthesis. Educated in philosophy, theology, and psychology, de Mello was ordained as a Jesuit priest in 1961. His journey took him deeply into the contemplative traditions of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, and he openly embraced the wisdom found in these traditions, always seeking practical insights rather than mere doctrinal dogma. Over the course of his ministry, he established the Sadhana Institute near Pune, India, dedicated to offering spiritual retreats, contemplative workshops, and therapeutic guidance. Through this center, his teachings reached a global audience, attracting participants from diverse cultural and religious backgrounds. His open-hearted and inclusive philosophy drew praise from many, although it occasionally provoked controversy among traditionalists within the Catholic Church. De Mello's major works, including Awareness, The Way to Love, The Song of the Bird, and Wellsprings, stand as enduring monuments of his vision. Perhaps his most influential book, Awareness, captures the essence of his teaching style. Direct, conversational, at times provocative, always aimed at shaking readers free from their conditioned beliefs and patterns of thought. He frequently employed parables, jokes, anecdotes, and Zen-like paradoxes, not simply to entertain but to jolt listeners into wakefulness, forcing them to confront their inner illusions, blind spots, and attachments. Central to de Mello's philosophy is the idea of waking up. Drawing upon the mystical traditions of both East and West, he argued that most people spend their lives asleep, oblivious to their true nature and reality. He described this state of sleep as one of habitual unconsciousness, perpetuated by social conditioning, religious dogma, cultural norms, and personal attachments. The task, as he saw it, was to awaken from this state not through force or moralistic discipline, but through simple and clear awareness. Awakening was not about achieving perfection or becoming morally superior. Rather, it was about clarity, freedom, and a profound understanding of oneself and one's relationships. For de Mello, awareness meant cultivating a stance of detached observation toward one's thoughts, feelings, and reactions. He encouraged people to witness themselves without judgment, without seeking immediate solutions or explanations, but instead observing the mechanisms of the mind as if from outside. This process, he argued, could liberate individuals from the grip of ego, the relentless demands of societal conformity, and the compulsive pursuit of approval, success, or happiness from external sources. Only when people could clearly see how they had become entrapped by their own conditioned minds could genuine freedom and peace become possible. A second key element of de Mello's teachings is his critique of attachment. Drawing on Buddhist and Christian mysticism alike, he argued that human suffering is rooted deeply in attachment to desires, identities, opinions, and beliefs. In his view, these attachments constitute false selves, identities crafted by socialization, roles, achievements, and expectations. True liberation, according to de Mello, emerges only when these attachments are relinquished. But relinquishing attachment does not mean becoming indifferent or apathetic. Instead, it is a shift toward unconditional acceptance of the present moment, characterized by joy and freedom rather than anxiety, grasping, and regret. Many who encounter de Mello's teachings find immediate resonance with his straightforward style, unpretentious language, and ability to distill profound spiritual insights into easily relatable anecdotes. Readers often find themselves smiling or even laughing out loud at his stories, even as his words penetrate deep into their emotional and psychological defenses. His humor, directness, and compassion invite readers to confront difficult truths with gentle openness, rather than guilt or defensiveness. What people like about de Mello, and why he remains popular decades after his death, is precisely this refreshing authenticity. His teachings, stripped of complicated theological jargon, bypass conventional religious categories and appeal directly to human experience. He offers no strict dogmas, rituals, or moral prescriptions, only invitations to greater insight, self-acceptance, and liberation from fear-based motivations. In a world increasingly fractured by dogmatic beliefs, sectarian divisions, and polarized identities, de Mello's message resonates as an invitation to transcend division and embrace a more universal spirituality, grounded in personal transformation and unconditional compassion. Exposure to de Mello's ideas could potentially serve humanity profoundly in confronting its current predicament. Today, people are overwhelmed by chronic anxiety, cultural and political polarization, environmental crises, and spiritual emptiness. De Mello's insights offer a potential pathway out of these destructive patterns, starting with each individual's internal awakening. His teachings challenge us to recognize that external change must originate from a profound internal shift in consciousness. In this sense, humanity's greatest problems, fear, anger, greed, division, are seen not as immutable external realities, but as products of collective unconsciousness and individual attachments. By embracing awareness, humanity can learn to dismantle these destructive patterns at their root. Anthony de Mello's enduring appeal, therefore, rests not merely in the wisdom of his words, but in the transformative potential of his approach. His teaching invites a new way of seeing oneself, others, and reality itself. It does not demand perfection, moral purity, or strict adherence to dogma, but rather honesty, openness, and courage to face reality without illusions. The first step in addressing the global crises confronting humanity may very well be the simple but challenging act of waking up, exactly as Anthony de Mello advocated throughout his life.